Controlling the AV equipment in a meeting room should be simple, right? And there's nothing simpler than the equipment doing what you want it to do automatically. So we developed a room automation tool for small to medium-sized meeting rooms, and it's called the Event Manager. If you haven't heard about Event Manager, then click here in the top right corner or on the link in the description below to learn more about it. Alright, so with Event Manager, you have the option to either fully automate the room or leave certain things for the user to decide. If you're designing a system which requires some user interaction, then take a look at the Rep B511. RAP is short for Room Automation Panel, and it is basically Event Manager in a box with 11 push buttons, a volume knob and 300 event slots in the memory. Alright, let's bring in some equipment to demonstrate what it can do. Okay, so we have the RAP mounted in a stand so that you can see what's going on. We have a display here, a lamp here, two video sources underneath this table, a PC and an Apple TV, and we are going to use a UBAC spare to do the switching for us. Let's start with the buttons. They can be set up to be basic push buttons where a single press performs one or multiple actions, like this button which turns on the display and the lamp at the same time. You can also set up a toggle function, which means if you press it once, it does one thing, and if you press it again, it does another thing. Like this button marked light on off. If you press it once, it turns the lamp on. If you press it again, it turns it off. You can put buttons in radio groups, which means only one of them can be active at any given time, and this is especially useful for video input selection. In this example, we can use these two buttons to switch between the Apple TV 4K and the PC. You can mix things up and set up a button to only perform the action while it is being pressed. For example, this can be used to move curtains or shades in the desired position. And of course, you can require a long press or a double press for functions that shouldn't be triggered by accident, like turning the system off doesn't work for a single press, but it does for a long press. All the buttons have a built-in LED, which you can use as a subtle backlight illumination, or you can use them as feedback. One example to use it as a feedback is the light on-off button, where the illumination is turned on when the lamp is switched on and is off when the lamp is turned off. Another example is the projector on button, which you can set to pulsate while the projector is warming up, and it can switch to full brightness when the projector is ready. Okay, moving on from the buttons, you have the volume control knob with its own feedback LEDs. You can use it to control the volume of a lightware device or a third-party device like a TV or a power amplifier. You can also press the knob, which toggles between mute and unmute, and the current state is indicated by this red LED in the bottom right corner. Okay, let's talk about connectivity. On the front, above the rotary dial, you have an infrared eye, which allows you to use any IR code to trigger events. And if you turn it around, you will find three configurable general-purpose input-output ports. As an input, they can be connected to a motion sensor or an occupancy sensor, or to a contact switch, which would allow the rep to recognize when a divisible room is used as one big room or two smaller ones. And as an output, they can turn lights on and off, move projector screens, projector lift systems, motorized shades, or basically do anything through a relay box. Right next to the GPIOs, you have a bidirectional RS-232 port to control lightware or third-party devices. And on the other side, you have two Ethernet ports, because having two allows these panels to be daisy-chained. And you might also notice that one of them is labeled PoE in, which would allow this panel to receive power from a PoE-enabled switch, for example, and the other is labeled PoE out, so if you use the local DC adapter for this panel, then you can send power to another PoE-enabled device. And there's one more special thing inside. The Rep B511 has an NTP-enabled real-time clock powered by a lifetime-lasting battery, so you can set up daily or weekly recurring events, such as turning on some equipment in the morning or turning them off in the evening after everyone's left the office. Okay, I've talked a lot about the obvious features. It's time for the 5 cool things that otherwise you might have missed. You can use the RAP to control devices that don't have any controlling intelligence, or you can use it with other Event Manager equipped devices and combine their capabilities. Click on this link to find out what I mean. You can choose from 3 different enclosure sizes. There's a UK, an EU and a US version. You can also choose from 3 different color options for all enclosure sizes. There's a black, a brushed aluminum and a white one. The front plate is held in place by tiny spring-loaded balls, so it looks nice and you don't need any tools to take it off in case you want to change the button labels. And speaking about labels, it's super easy to change them. You just pop the cover off, use a label that came with the product, or you can design your own, print it, insert it, and you're done. If you would like to learn more about this or any other product, go to lightware.com, check out some other product videos, and if you like them, subscribe to our channel. But for now, thanks for watching.